Hey guys, we're just going to have a short and sweet video here. It's all about Rob Toia. So I've been on the Facebook groups, like all the NRL fantasy ones, and Rob Toia is obviously the biggest point of discussion after his 98. And teams are just picking apart their teams to try and get a score in. Like say they're in the sixth or seventh emergency spot. Um, and yeah, they're just making like wild trades and stuff to try and get his score, which I understand. Like obviously you want that 98, you don't want it to be stuck on emergencies if you don't have a loop option. Obviously for my team, I've got Garrick, so Toya's coming straight in, so that's not an issue for me. But a lot of guys are without a loop this week, and they've got Rob Toya somewhere on their emergencies, and it takes one trade to get his score in. So I do understand the merit. So I'm just going to talk over some guys. I've put a list of guys I would be willing to trade out. I've just gone off footy statistics' top 100, 1,000, top 5,000 players. And if they're 10% plus owned, I'll put them on the list. And then I put 3 players on that I'd be willing to trade in that are not playing this week that I think will be worth it. So we'll get over to that list now. So there's 8 names I'd be willing to trade out and only 3 that I'd be willing to bring in. I'll get over some key notes first. You just got to understand if you are making an additional trade this week to get Rob Toya's score, what that means and how that should be valued. So if a player you're trading out is going to make 50k more, you're essentially losing 1/3 of a trade to get Toya's 98. I hope that makes sense. Like we've talked about the trading fundamentals, you want to make 150k minimum with a trade. So if someone like a Hubner or a Purdue is going to make another 50k, then yeah, you're essentially losing 1/3 of a trade's value in making a trade, and out of it you get Rob Toya's 98. So yeah, that one was hopefully self-explanatory. This one's a little bit more intricate. So if the player you're trading out scores a 45 this week, so say you had Purdue in your 4 spot or something, like in your interchange, and he was the option that's going to score for you instead of Toya. If he gets a 45, you have an additional 58 points to make up throughout the season, given Toya's 98. You're not getting Toya's 98 unless you make a trade for a non-playing player this week. So yeah, 53 points to make up. So if you're going to hold that player that you're trading out, like a Purdue, for another 10 games this season, they have to make 5.3 games of value, 5.3 points per game of value. So like someone like a Purdue here, he's priced at 39 already. If you're planning on holding him 10 weeks, and in all likelihood you're only holding him another 4 or 5 weeks anyway, which just increases the points per game. But yeah, let's say it's 10 weeks and you need another 5.3 points of value from him. That essentially means he's priced at 44.3 in the context of your team. Because yeah, you could be trading him out right now and get Rob Toya's 98 guaranteed. So yeah, in the context of your team, he is priced at 44.3. If you were going to hold him another 10 games, was your plan. So yeah, I hope that one makes sense. If you need an explanation, just reach out in the comment section and I can explain that one a bit more. But pretty much, if it was 5 games, if you're only going to hold Purdue for 5 games, then his points per game he need to make is 10.6, which would price him at 49.6, which obviously makes him a pretty clear-cut trade. And yeah, in my eyes, he's got to make another 50k, so I wouldn't be trading him this week. But things change with Toya's 98. So yeah, even if he scores 45, he's got another 70k. If he scores 40s, he's got another 40k or so. So yeah, in my eyes, he would be a perfectly good candidate. It's probably Lockie Hubner and Jackson Purdue, maybe Brimson are the 3 that probably have another 50k to make in them. Brimson maybe not quite as good as the other 2. But again, if you can make a trade to a non-playing player and you get Rob Toya's 98 out of it, then it makes clear sense. You're using 1/3 of a trade. And if you only have 20 trades or something, I wouldn't be doing it for sure. But let's say Brimson scores 40. Yeah, he's not even going to make 50k, so yeah, he's a clear-cut trade out. Tommy Jenkins, he was on our holds or sells this week, and I said to sell him. So yeah, if you haven't already, you can easily sell him for a non-playing player. Kalen Ponga, I did recommend to keep him ideally, unless you're sick of his 20 scores, which is fair enough. But it came out that he has a rib injury as well. He is going to play through it, but it really hampers his scoring potential. And yeah, he still may crank out a 70, but he's definitely more of a sell than he was at the time of that video. So yeah, more than happy. And given his price point, it's probably a little bit easier to go to someone like a Garrick with him, with just making one trade. Oh, and Paddy, he was actually 10% owned in the top 5,000 somehow. So yeah, I'd be definitely willing to trade him. He's dead weight anyway. So this list isn't in any order, by the way. It's just 8 names I came up with. Hubner and Purdue, yeah, they've got another 50k to make, but I'd be happy to use 1/3 of a trade value to get them out for sure. AJ Brimson, yeah, talked about him. He's probably priced a little bit underpriced, but he's only got a little bit more to make and easily willing to trade him out. Adam Dewey, yeah, I said to hold him. He rewarded you guys last week if you do have him. But again, he's probably going to be scoring 40s in the center. And yeah, another 50k. It is what it is. And then Tamale. Ideally, you're keeping him for round 12, but if you have really good buy coverage in your winger, fullback, and center positions, then you can trade him. I said if you have at least 4 out of 5 of those positions covered. So like for my team, I've got Iongi, Marzu, we'll ignore Tamale, Toia, and I have, all right, Kartonga and Garrick. So yeah, I have plenty of coverage there, so I could realistically trade out of Tamale if I needed to make it work in the context of this, but obviously I'm getting Toya's score. But yeah, if you have enough coverage, I'd be willing to trade him out as well. He's very up and down. He's looked really good the last couple of weeks, but he's probably got another 50k or so in him as well. So yeah, again, you're using 1/3 of a trade value essentially. So you're losing 1/3 of a trade value if it's only 50k to make. So yeah, more than happy with that. There's not many options to trade in though. Garrick is a clear-cut one, I think. He was on the Who's Not list this week, which was surprising, and I talked about he's probably more of a buy than a sell. He's only like 20% owned overall. I think it's about 50% in the top 100, 1,000, 5,000. So there's plenty of people that don't have him. Yeah, like 46, 47, 49%. So more than half of you guys don't have him out there. Ideally, I wouldn't recommend bringing him in this week. Like with no other circumstances like a Rob Toia 48. But he's solid enough. He's dual position, plays round 12, plays round 15. He's a borderline keeper in that winger fullback center position, like in both of them. If he averages 50, he's very close enough. He's a fringe end of season guy. He does have that HIA history that I was talking about. But yeah, you can't be too concerned about that. Average 49 last year at centers, 50, and then not before that, and then 52 this year. So yeah, plenty of data to suggest he'll be a 50-point scorer. Really good buy coverage. Yeah, he's a clear-cut one that's not playing this week to bring in, and is also in the centers, which helps the Toia situation. But so it helps in a lot more situations to get Rob Toia in if he's your second center or something in the reserves. So yeah, he's the clear-cut, far and away the best one to bring in, and I'd be trading any of these guys straight up to him if you can. And it might take a Jackson Purdue or something to make the money work because he's a little bit more expensive at 646k, but a lot of people have a little bit of money out there. The next two are more risky. Ideally, I wouldn't recommend it, but based on these points we've talked about, it should be okay as long as you're trading out one of these guys. In all likelihood, Jazz Tavang is not the best option. He's had really good minutes the last 2 minutes, about 70, just based on the fact Jakey Turbo got injured here, and then he was out last week as well. Jakey Turbo, that is. So yeah, don't expect 70 minutes. I'm very tempted. Well, I was very tempted by Jazz Tavanga before I got Aaron Clark. Has really good buy coverage. You probably wouldn't be able to keep him to around 18. And he does have really strong data playing even 40-plus minutes. So we'll just cap it at 40 or 60, just because I don't think he'll play massive minutes. But yeah, a point a minute in 47 minutes last year. A couple of games there, 52 in 42 minutes, 43 in 46 minutes. So yeah, he has really strong data. And I think, 45 and 50. So all over, every season he has really strong data, which is good, and he's only priced at 27. And I'd say it's reasonable to expect he'll play 40 to 45 minutes, depending on what his role is. Could be even higher than that. So yeah, ideally you're not trading him in this week, but if it's to get Rob Toya's 98, then I think there's certainly some merit to it. Has that dual position as well, so just like Aaron Clark, he's really important over that round 12-15. Covers Mamo in round 12, and covers Hugo's, Haas, Mays in both 12 and 15. So I'm interested in it next week regardless. But if you need to take a flyer this week, then feel free, as long as it's for one of those 8 guys I mentioned, because you're not losing too much value, but it might end up being a wasted trade. The good part is his history is playing lock, hooker, and prop, and I don't know where he's going to play in the next couple of weeks. So the fact that he has strong data, and even off the bench, like the fact that he has strong data in all positions is a really good sign. So his role, whatever role he has, he should be able to do something for you. So he's a fringe 10 points underpriced player. Ideally wait to next week, but in this circumstance, he'd be my second option to bring in. Matty Burton's the last one, and I think he's far and away the worst out of these 3. He's not too far away from Jazz Tavanga. He's miles away from Ruben Garrick. Obviously having a down year, and it's really the 69 break even that is the worry. Again, it's a bit of a false break even. We've talked about this quite a bit. Like, don't just use the current break evens, because even if he scores 50s, like he's only losing 24k and then making money onwards, assuming he scores 50s. So yeah, he's priced at 44, which is really good. He has lost the goal kicking to Stephen Crichton the last couple of weeks, which isn't ideal, but then Crichton's going to play Origin. So he should get a little bit of boost during those rounds, and who knows, he might just keep the goal kicking after that, because he was starting the year with it. I think just because he was coming back from injury, he hasn't, but if he gets in the flow of things during that Origin period, I'm sure he'll have a chance to get that goal kicking back. Averaged 53 last year, so that's already 10 points undervalued. 46 the year before. He's playing 5'8" now. Not too dissimilar, but yeah, 43, I guess. So not ideal, but last season was obviously good. And then 50 again and 60 with the Panthers, but that was mainly due to the 106, and he scored a lot of tries that year. But yeah, you can see the data's solid for him. There's an easy path for him averaging 50 plus, 50 to 53-ish, which puts him as an underpriced fringe end of season guy. He's probably the 7th, 8th, 9th best half, but he has really good coverage during that Origin period as well, like 12, 15, 18. And I can't imagine he's going to play Origin. That's always a little bit of a worry, but yeah, he's outsider looking in my eyes. So yeah, they're the guys I'd be looking to trade in. Ruben Garrick, far and away the best. Jazz Tavanga, ideally a wait and see for next week, but he certainly have some merit. And Matt Burton, yeah, underpriced keeper, ideally. So yeah, if you need to make one of these 3 trading guys, for any of these guys, more than happy to. But if it's anyone outside this list that's in the like at least 10% owned that I haven't included on this list, then yeah, it's not worth it. And if you have to make 2+ trades to do it, absolutely not worth it. This is only if you only need to make 1 trade to a non-playing player. You'll get a massive increase this round, and you're only going to lose a little bit of value at worst, as long as none of those guys pump out like a 70-80, which apart from Ponga, there's no one really on that list who has that in their repertoire. So yeah, that's it. Just wanted to keep it short and sweet. It's 14 minutes, but short enough. So yeah, if you're in a situation where you need to get Rob Toya's 98, hopefully this helped. If you have any other questions or any other guys you're considering making a trade for, just let me know in the comments and I'll get back to you. So yeah, enjoy guys. Hopefully you can get Toya's 98. See ya.